A big sports week ahead as the Stanley Cup Final begins Wednesday. Panthers, Oilers face off in a repeat of last year. On Thursday, the NBA Finals tip off Oklahoma City Thunder, Indiana Pacers. What else? The French Open Women's Final is Saturday, Men's Final Sunday. You also have the Belmont Stakes on Saturday. A lot going on the first week of June. And this is your morning Buzzcast for Monday, June 2nd. I'm Abe Madkour. A big and somewhat surprising move as Mets owner Steve Cohen found the Mets' next president of business operations, and he was working just across the street from Citi Field. Yes, the Mets have named USTA CEO Lou Scheer as president of business operations. He'll join the organization in July, report directly to Steve Cohen. He is replacing Scott Havens, who was in that role since 2023. But remember, Steve Cohen cited the two having differing perspectives on long-term strategy. Now, sources say Steve Cohen and Lou Scheer began talking months ago just about the business of sports, started talking about just conceptual ideas, but those conversations morphed into more specific. And Scheer was intrigued by the vast ambitions of Steve Cohen, who is known to want to build a massive sports and entertainment conglomerate. Lou Scheer will oversee the senior leadership team for all front office functions. Remember, baseball operations led by David Stearns. There is a difference between Scott Havens and Lou Scheer. Scott Havens came from the media business. Scheer comes from the sports business and should help Steve Cohen navigate this terrain. We have said before on the Buzzcast that Steve Cohen wants to move fast in business. He said in November of 2020, quote, "I'm not crazy about people learning on my dime," end quote. So he wants people with experience. Lou Scheer will bring some calm and stability to the frequently changing C-suite at Citi Field, as the Mets have had a number of changes to their top executive ranks. By last account, they have about 4 C-level positions still open, and Lou Scheer will have to fill these. Lou Scheer's been such a positive force at the USTA, spending 15 years there, first as Chief Revenue Officer for 12 years, last 3 years as the CEO. The event, the US Open, is a monster. It is a cash cow, and he was also a major force in the global tennis community. But now he moves to baseball. Like I said, his final day with the USTA, June 30th. U.S. Soccer has begun the process of getting information from cities interested in being included in the bid for the 2031 Women's World Cup. Remember, that will likely be hosted by the U.S. and Mexico. Most of the event, which is expanding to 48 teams, will be held in the U.S. Sources said U.S. Soccer reached out to 11 host cities that are hosting the 2026 Men's World Cup: Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, LA, Miami, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, the Bay Area, and Seattle. They also reached out to a handful of other cities that they believe have interests. Markets like Baltimore and Charlotte and Cincinnati and New Orleans and Phoenix, so many others. So the U.S. bid is expected to include 15 to 20 cities. U.S. Soccer will submit its bid to FIFA by the end of this year. FIFA is expected to formally award the event to the U.S. and the designated co-host at next year's FIFA Congress in late April. So again, we talk about these big global events coming to America. 2031 Women's World Cup is one of them. Staying with soccer, LAFC, they secured the final spot in the FIFA Club World Cup. They defeated Liga MX's Club America on Saturday. So group play for the Club World Cup begins in 2 weeks, mostly in southern cities in the United States. Now, this was a big win for LAFC. It guaranteed the club nearly $10 million in prize money for making the tournament field. Some called it the biggest game in the club's history. Also, others wonder if the scene at BMO Stadium on Saturday will be like other markets for the Club World Cup, as the energy and the atmosphere were off the charts. and some wonder if that could be a sign of what's to come in June and July. We'll see. There are 3 MLS clubs participating in the Club World Cup: Inter Miami, Seattle, and LAFC. We will see and have more on the Club World Cup in the weeks ahead. Keep your eye on the stadium situations for the Chiefs and the Royals, as Missouri's Governor Mike Keogh called the General Assembly back for a special session this week starting Tuesday. It's largely focused on funding for a new Chiefs stadium. This comes as the Chiefs are considering a couple of things: renovating Arrowhead or building a new venue, potentially with a dome, in Kansas, and that would cost an estimated $3 billion. Clark Hunt, Chiefs owner, said both options, renovating Arrowhead and a new stadium in Kansas, are both very much in play. He wants to be in a new or renovated building by 2031, and by the end of this month, by the end of June, the Chiefs hope to decide where they will play. For both the Chiefs and the Royals, there is a lot at stake, and for Governor Keogh as well, as both Republicans and Democrats are questioning his plan that would pay up to half the cost for new facilities, which could total $3 billion or more. Again, a lot of uncertainty, a lot to watch this week as the Chiefs and the Royals plot their future. 2 college items to hit on the Buzzcast. Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark said the conference is not moving forward with a plan to have private equity invest in the Big 12 at this time. We have talked on the Buzzcast that the Big 12 has spent a lot of time and energy going through the exercise of what it would look to have any relationship with a private equity company and investing in the Big 12. But Yormark said at this point, those efforts are on hold. He made those remarks at the Big 12 meetings in Orlando late last week. Staying on campus, a big hire. Michigan State has found its new athletic director, Jay Batt, who is currently athletic director at Georgia Tech, expected to be announced as the new AD at Michigan State today, Monday. So who is Jay Batt? Well, he's 43 years old. He's been at Georgia Tech since 2023. He's well known for his ability to fundraise, which is critical in this day and age. He's also led a number of facility improvements at Georgia Tech. Previously, he was at Alabama for over 5 years, where he learned under the wing of athletic director Greg Byrne. In 2021, he made SBJ's 40 under 40 list. He also had roles at East Carolina and Maryland, and now he takes on a big job in the Big Ten at Michigan State. And finally, I will be going to see the Savannah Bananas this weekend at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. They have 2 sold-out nights, and the team's last stop was in Southern California over the weekend, and more than 45,000 fans jammed Angel Stadium in Anaheim to see the Bananas play Friday and Saturday. This came as across town, the Dodgers and Yankees played a 3-game weekend series at Dodger Stadium. Tickets on the secondary market were higher for the Bananas than they were for Dodgers Yankees. Also, fans started lining up as early as 11 a.m. Gates opened at 2 p.m. to see the Bananas, and the line outside the merchandise store was very long. Let's put the growth and interest in the team in perspective. The last time the Savannah Bananas played in Southern California, 2023, and they played in front of 5,000 fans at a minor league ballpark. 2 years later, more than 45,000 fans per night filling Angel Stadium, and they will play in front of more than 70,000 fans in Charlotte this coming weekend. Quite a story. And so that is your Morning Buzzcast for Monday, June 2nd. I'm Abe Madkour. Thanks for listening. Stay healthy. Be good to each other. I'll speak to you tomorrow.